Hello there, this is Mr. Clark, and we're going to go over the day one notes. And this is for credits, so make sure you follow along and fill this in. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do circles, some more circles. And we had the circle formula. And remember H and K in the formula, that's your center point, and R is your radius. So let's start at number one. So we're going to find the equation of the circle that is centered at 5, 7 with the radius of 12. So first thing is the 5, it goes in for your h. Now this is x minus h. So you have 5 right there. And then the 7 goes in for your k. So that's y minus k. So minus 7. All right. Now, and notice you have a positive 5, right? And then you have a minus 5. So you have positive 7, you have minus 7. It's the opposite. And then the last thing is the radius. Now the radius is 12, but that's not what you're going to put at the end because it says r squared. Now remember 12 squared. Let's see here. So if I insert an equation, 12 squared equals, what does 12 squared equal? That's 12 times 12, which is 144. So that's what you put at the end, 144. All right, because that's 12 times 12. There's that one. All right, next one. Now we have minus 3 here. And that's going to go in over here after the x, minus 3. But you know that minus negative gives you a plus. So that's going to be plus. And note that this is a negative 3, and then you have a plus 3. It's the opposite. Here you have a positive 4. You'd have minus 4. All right. And again, the radius is here. The radius is 5. So let me just copy this down here. You don't have to write all this if you don't need to. But 5 squared, I'm just showing you 5 squared is 25. Because you're putting radius squared at the end. So that 25 goes at the end. There it is. All right, that's 1 and 2. Number 3. Now this one you have an equation centered at 1, 2. And it travels through 4, 6, that point. So the center of the circle is at 1, 2. Well, let's get that first. Then worry about the travels through later. All right, so 1, that's plus 1, so you get a minus 1. Positive 2, that's a minus 2. Okay, so there's that part of the circle. Now you need to find the radius. Now the radius is always from the center of the circle to a point on the circle, right? You got the center. So the center, and it goes from the center out to any point. That's the radius. Now we have a point here. We have a point 4, 6. So it's going from 1, 2 to 4, 6. So we need to find the distance. And then if we find the distance of that, then we're going to find the radius. So let me just copy these points down here. We're going to do the distance formula just like we did, was it week 15? I don't even know. And we're going to do x. Remember the x1. Oops, that's a lot bigger than these points. Let me make those a little bit larger there. I'm going to go on to the next page. Looks like I'm running out of room. All right, going down to the next page. So that's x1 and then x2. No. X1 and y1. There we go. And x2, y2. It's the first x and y, the second x and y. Let me move this. Move this out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let's get that down. There it is. Okay, so those are the points we're going to be putting in the. That's just too large. There we go. That's what we're going to be putting in our formula. And here's the formula up here, in case you forgot. X2 minus x1. So first thing we're going to do is put the x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 1. So we got 4 here, minus 1. And then we're going to do the y2 minus y1, because that's what it is in the formula up here, y2 minus y1. So we're going to have 6 minus 2. Check it out. So x2 minus x1, minus 1, y2 minus y1, 6 minus 2. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to just solve this. I'm copy and paste it and just keep solving. 4 minus 1 is 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. All right, still solving. Copy that, paste that. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. Still going. 9 plus 16 is 25. All right, and then we have to do the square root of 25. And in case you don't know, 5 times 5 is 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. You can always just go to Google and put calculator in there. There we go. And then you go to the square root key right there. And then put 25 in there, and you get 5. So the answer is 5 for the radius. Okay, so we have the radius, but we need to also square it, right? Because in the formula it says r squared, radius squared. So the radius is 5 times 5, which is 25. All right, there's that one. All right, one more. Okay, let me move this down so it's on the same page. All right, same kind of deal. You have a center point and you have a point the circle travels through. All right, so center point is -2. So you're going to put a plus 2 there, the opposite, right? You have a -3. You're going to put a plus 3. All right, now you need to find the radius because this is the center point, and the circle travels through this point. So again, the radius is always the distance from the center point to any point on the circle. So you can find the distance. So let me just save some time here. Copy this down here, down there, and we have this point. Copy that. You don't have to copy all this here and there. I mean, I'm just making it clear what's going on here. All right, so there we go. Okay, so again, in the formula, we have x2 minus x1. x2 is 4. x1 is -2. So I'm going to put parentheses there because it's negative. y2 is 5. And y1 is -3. There it is right there. And I'll put parentheses again. Negative. Oops. 3 parentheses. Okay. All right, looking pretty good now. Let me stretch this out a little bit. Okay. Now I just need to solve this. Again, we're doing this to get the radius. The distance between the center and a point. 4 minus -2, that's minus negative. That's the same as plus. 4 plus 2 is 6. 5 minus 3, 5 minus -3. That's the same as 5 plus 3, which is 8. And then we're going to keep solving. 6 squared, that's 6 times 6, which is 36. 8 squared, 8 times 8, which is 64. Oops, not 65, 64. And this is nice because when you add that, you get 100. 36 plus 64 is 100. And oops, not 1,000. Okay, and the square root of 100, well, if you don't know what that is, you can just go to Google again. Press square root, 100, enter, 10. It is 10 because 10 times 10 is 100. 10 squared is 100, so the square root of 100 is 10. All right, so there's your radius is 10. So come on back up here. We're going to put 10 in there, right? I'm going to put 10 in there. I'm going to put 10 squared in there, right? Because it's radius squared. All the way up here, r squared. And 10 times 10 is 100. So there it is. That's how you do it. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.